NuMinds, Mr. Ben is back. Sorry about that. The worst Wi-Fi trouble I have had since NuMinds.tv launched over a month ago. I tried to wait it out and fight it out, so I'm switching to my phone because I want to finish this awesome Fibonacci talk. Okay, so to catch you up, if you can, go watch part 1. That takes you up to this, which is a mysterious number pattern, which since I'm using my phone, you see backwards to make it even trickier. But we've got 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. We explained, we discovered, we connected that to derive each number, you add the previous two numbers, right? So to get 3, we did 1 plus 2. To get 5, we did 2 plus 3. Now, as I was saying, big whoop, right? Like anyone can make up a number pattern. Like I could say, oh no, the rule for my number pattern is you take the previous number, multiply it by 5, then subtract 4. And I just do that forever and I have a pattern, right? But what makes this one a little bit special is Leonardo Fibonacci, the guy I was telling you about, the math and number obsessed merchant in the Renaissance, noticed that these numbers appear all kinds of places in nature. Flowers, pine cones, pineapples, the horns of a ram, sea creatures. And it could be in different ways. It could be the number of objects, like, for example, obvious one, but we have 5 fingers. We have 2 eyeballs, 2 ears, right? Things like that seem obvious, but when you go out into nature and you hunt these things down, it's really incredible. And here's my challenge for you today. Can we find these nature's favorite numbers out around our homes? I know we can't go too far, but I know that around the block where I walk, I find pine cones. And so I went today and I grabbed a couple of pine cones and I said, let's put this old Fibonacci theory to the test. Like a skeptical old grandpa, we're going to find out for ourselves, right? So here we go. I got some pine cones. Okay, so pretty big ones. I'd say pretty good sized pine cones. Now, what do we mean? What does Fibonacci mean when he said we can find the Fibonacci sequence in items like pine cones? So the way a lot of things unfold in nature as they grow is that they unfold in layers or spirals. And so the Fibonacci connection to the pine cone has to do with the number of spirals that kind of come out around from the center. Okay, can you kind of see that? Especially if I hold it at the right angle. See the different spirals? So what I did earlier was I got a little bit of paint, a little bit of acrylic paint in 2 colors, and a skinny little paintbrush, and I wanted to see for myself. I wanted to count those spirals and layers for myself and see, is this true Fibonacci? ¿Es verdad? Okay, so here's what I did. You can see I took one of my pine cones and I used 2 alternating colors so it's easy to see the lines. Because if I just hold this one up and try to count without coloring or marking each spiral somehow, I can get lost. Okay, so here's what I did. 2 colors. I alternated the yellow and the red, and let's just count together right now. Let's prove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, he was right. Then to top it off, I've got a pretty cool looking pattern here. I could have even done more colors, but I think the alternating pattern looks really cool. And I think it might make a wonderful addition to one of your projects that you're working on for Earth Day 2020 for the Cardboard Challenge, right? Did you design a future city? Well, future cities need to be well designed and be aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Why not apply a little Fibonacci magic if you've got a pine cone around? Now, it just so happens, this wasn't planned, but it just so happens I also had a pineapple in my house today. And so I thought, all right, Fibonacci, I see the pine cone, but this pineapple thing, I mean, come on. That's a reach. That's a reach, Fibonacci. Let me get my pineapple. Okay, so I wasn't allowed to paint all the spirals on my pineapple, but they're a little bit easier to see on a pineapple. Actually, if you look kind of see, like that is very clearly one of the spirals, right? So according to the Fibonacci theory, or according to Leonardo himself, there should be a Fibonacci number of spirals on this pineapple. So here's what I did. I just chose a place to start with this one, and then I followed it all the way up and around, and then over here I marked where it met the top of the pineapple, so I would know not to count a particular spiral multiple times. Okay, so here we go. That's what we're going to do, is we're going to count the spirals on this pineapple. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, Fibonacci. You're 2 for 2, Leonardo. So congratulations. That's right. That's true. And so here's the thing. I mean, I already knew it was going to happen, because I've been pretty obsessed with the Fibonacci sequence for a long time. And this is just the tip of the pineapple. Hey, you thought I was going to say iceberg, but I just had to, make a connection. So really, what happens when things in nature are bigger, but they spiral like this, is you get one of the larger Fibonacci numbers. Example, a sunflower. Whoa, have you ever looked and stared into a sunflower? It's almost like hypnotic. And there are so many spirals. It's a lot bigger than a pine cone or a pineapple. And so what would happen is, if it's a small sunflower, maybe you're talking 34. But I mean, this sequence goes on and on, right? There's really no end. So if you have the patience, young Padawan, to count the spirals in a sunflower, you indeed are likely to find that it's a Fibonacci number of spirals. Okay? Cool stuff. So that's my Earth Day challenge for you today, is to look around. If you're taking the dog on a walk this afternoon with mom and dad, see if you can find some pine cones laying around, or a pineapple tree. Oh, maybe that's not likely. But see if you can look at some flowers or some plants and count the number of petals, count the number of leaves. Just see what you find out there. That's challenge number 1. And then challenge number 2 is, how can you incorporate some Fibonacci fun into your creations for the cardboard challenge, right? Because you have control. Could you create some Fibonacci-like spirals? Could you create a structure that has a Fibonacci number of items in it? And this is just the beginning. I think on a future Volt, we'll get into the next level of mind-blowing power, which is the golden triangle, which has to do with the Fibonacci numbers and a magical ratio called phi, not pi, phi, okay? And the spiral, and there's just so many cool directions to go with this. But today's little mini taste is just the sequence itself. See if you can find things around your neighborhood that exhibit the Fibonacci sequence. Pine cones, flowers, plants, other things. And challenge number 2, can you incorporate the Fibonacci sequence in some way into your cardboard challenge creation? All right? That's my challenge to you. Sorry about the technical glitch today, but at least we got to finish our little chat and finish strong with the cardboard challenge. Stay tuned in. NuMinds.tv/EarthDay2020 is where you can find all the challenges. Even if you didn't get to them today, that's fine. That's going to live there for a long time, and you can still share your projects. So thank you, Numi Nation. Stay real, stay inspired, pursue your passion until it becomes your talent.